Last night on Saturday Night Live, Colin Jost came back live and clearly made a joke at Blake Lively.
Well, I guess Colin Jost got the last laugh in his latest joke against Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni on SNL this week.
Ryan Reynolds is probably feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. What he thought was a great night at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary has suddenly turned into something else. Things got awkward when Colin Jost, who is married to Ryan's ex-wife Scarlett Johansson, took a not-so-subtle shot at Blake Lively during the show. And let's just say, it was anything but friendly. Now, let's rewind. Just a few weeks ago, Ryan and Blake attended SNL's big celebration. During a Q&A session with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, Ryan tried to make a joke, but it completely fell flat. Instead of laughs, there was an awkward silence, and people weren't sure how to react. Fast forward to now, and Colin's dig at Blake just made everything even more dramatic. It seems like the tension between these Hollywood stars is reaching new heights, and the drama isn't slowing down anytime soon.
A couple weeks ago, Saturday Night Live had its 50th anniversary, as we've all seen, and here was Ryan Reynolds with Blake Lively. How are you doing, Ryan? Everything okay?
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
When I say the joke didn't work, I mean it was a total disaster. It was so awkward that the whole room felt uncomfortable. You know those moments that are so embarrassing that you have to look away? This was exactly like that. The audience wasn't laughing or even smiling. They just sat there, unsure of what to do. Ryan, however, probably thought he was being his usual witty and entertaining self. But the reaction he expected never came. Instead of laughter, there was an awkward silence, and everyone watching felt secondhand embarrassment from how badly the joke flopped.
Her playing, why? What? Is there something wrong? Yeah, clearly, guys, the joke didn't hit. The joke didn't hit.
Moving ahead to SNL's latest episode, Colin Jost didn't hold back. During a discussion about Trump and Zelensky, he made a remark that was clearly aimed at Blake Lively. The joke was sharp and unexpected, the kind that could definitely get under Blake's skin. It was a direct hit, and anyone paying attention could tell it was meant to stir things up. The timing was no coincidence either. After all the recent drama surrounding Blake, this just added more fuel to the fire. It's safe to say that Colin's words didn't go unnoticed, and they likely left Blake fuming.
Trump repeatedly scolded Zelensky, telling him, "You have real problems." Yeah, man, he's in a war. No one's asking to borrow missiles so they can take the party to the next level. Zelensky was asked to leave the White House. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Bud Justin Baldoni saying, "I'd love to work with Blake again."
The crowd burst into laughter, but even Colin Jost could tell this joke was going to create some serious controversy.
Ooh, and even the audience is like laughing, but like, should we laugh at this given what you did last week?
This joke wasn't just any joke. It was a direct shot at Blake Lively, and the person delivering it made things even messier. Think about it. Colin Jost, the husband of Scarlett Johansson, took a jab at Blake. And here's the twist. Scarlett used to be married to Ryan Reynolds, who is now married to Blake. That's a whole web of connections, making the situation even more awkward. Colin didn't hold back, and while the audience laughed, everyone knew this would stir up drama. It's not every day you see a comedian take aim at his wife's ex-husband's current spouse.
Damn! I mean, look at Colin's face!
Blake Lively probably didn't expect to be the topic of conversation on SNL. Imagine thinking you're enjoying a peaceful weekend, sipping on an expensive green juice, only to find out your name was dropped in a comedy segment. That's Hollywood. For you, everything seems planned, and shade is rarely accidental. And let's be real, Colin Jost isn't just any comedian randomly making jokes. He's been a major part of SNL for over 10 years, and his wife is none other than Scarlett Johansson, one of the biggest names in the industry. They started dating in 2017, got engaged in 2019, and married in 2020. With that kind of connection, Colin's joke wasn't just some offhand remark. It carried weight. It wasn't just a punchline. It was a moment that tied together past relationships, Hollywood history, and a little bit of subtle shade, making things even more awkward for Blake.
Because again, Colin, is now married to Scarlett Johansson, who Ryan Reynolds allegedly, the rumors are, cheated on her with Blake Lively. Now, they denied that. Scarlett's never admitted that, but that's been a theory.
If this were just a harmless joke, why mention Blake Lively at all? Why not make fun of Ryan Reynolds instead? That's because this felt personal. Whether Colin Jost was taking a subtle jab or just couldn't resist stirring up drama, it was clear that this wasn't just a random Hollywood moment. It was Scarlett Johansson's husband making a joke about Ryan Reynolds' wife. That's shade, carefully served. And Colin knew exactly what he was doing. Let's take a step back. Before Ryan and Blake became one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson. Their marriage lasted from 2008 to 2011. At that time, Scarlett was at the peak of her career, while Ryan was still trying to break away from his romantic comedy image. While they kept their relationship private, their divorce was a different story. There were constant rumors that Scarlett wasn't as invested in the marriage as Ryan was. Some sources even claimed that while Ryan was ready to settle down, Scarlett was focused on her booming career, especially with her growing role in the Marvel Universe. Their careers seemed to pull them in opposite directions, with Scarlett embracing the spotlight while Ryan reportedly struggled with feelings of jealousy.
Ryan Reynolds was holding on to, and they both admitted this publicly, to a comment that Hugh Jackman made, because when Hugh Jackman was an A-list star, so was Scarlett Johansson, and they starred next to each other in this movie. I think it's called the Prestige. Mark will correct me in my ear if I'm wrong. The Prestige? Okay, great. It was called The Prestige, and this is like around the time that she's with Ryan Reynolds, okay? And Ryan Reynolds was jealous. Ryan Reynolds was controlling. It had always been alleged this was about Ryan Reynolds.
When Ryan Reynolds was still married to Scarlett Johansson, he met Blake Lively while filming Green Lantern. Soon after, their relationship timeline started to look a little messy. And then, boom. Just a few months later, Ryan and Blake were officially together. By 2012, they were married. That was fast, maybe even too fast. Let's be honest, some people take longer to decide what to watch on Netflix than Ryan took to move on from a whole marriage. Either he had a backup plan, or he's just unbelievably good at rebounding. Maybe Ryan and Blake really did just fall in love at the perfect moment. No overlap, no mess, just pure fate bringing them together. But in Hollywood, things rarely happen that neatly. When a relationship moves this quickly, people start whispering. Was Blake the real reason Ryan and Scarlett didn't work out? Did she enter the picture before the marriage was officially over? These are the kinds of questions that started floating around at the time. Colin Jost is definitely aware of this history, which makes his joke even more interesting. Think about it. Your ex-wife's new husband publicly making fun of your current wife on national television? That's not just a joke, it's a message, and Hollywood has a long history of throwing shade in the most subtle but brutal ways.
But at least was his ex-wife. So you have your ex-wife's husband crack this joke. The same ex-wife's husband whose show you decided to go make your first appearance on and let him write a joke for you that bombs. I mean, the whole thing is all next level.
Now here's what makes this even crazier. SNL had so many possible targets for their jokes that night. They could have easily chosen Justin Baldoni given his ongoing legal drama. But instead, they went straight for Blake Lively. That choice speaks volumes. It wasn't random. It wasn't accidental. They deliberately put her name in the spotlight, and that tells you everything you need to know.
Notice, this joke could have been the other way around. That's like Blake Lively saying, yeah, I want to work with Justin again. They chose to make the butt of the joke on her, not on him. Incredibly telling. So that to me is showing where Hollywood and all these people align. And this one was just far more interesting to talk about because given this whole appearance, which even Kevin Costner was like, what the hell are you doing?
Hollywood seems to be slowly turning against Blake, and Saturday Night Live just made it crystal clear. Think about it. Ryan Reynolds was treated like a star during SNL's huge anniversary special, given prime screen time, cracking jokes, and soaking up all the attention. But just days later, on their first live episode after the event, they made Blake the target of a joke. That's not just harmless comedy, that's a statement. And let's be real, this isn't the first hint that Blake's Hollywood status might be slipping. Remember Anna Kendrick? She and Blake starred together in A Simple Favor and were supposed to be super close, at least on screen. When asked about working with Blake again for the sequel, Anna's response was anything but enthusiastic. Instead of being excited, she simply said, "Oh, you know," and walked away. No smile, no excitement, just awkward silence. That says a lot.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again?
Oh, we're talking about you all day.
Oh my God.
That doesn't seem like someone who's excited to work with a supposed friend again. Maybe Anna has seen a different side of Blake and isn't willing to pretend for the cameras. In Hollywood, people take sides, and small moments like this can reveal a lot. The joke on Saturday Night Live might not have been random. It could be a sign that the industry's attitude toward Blake is changing. Right now, it looks like she's not exactly Hollywood's favorite. When the entertainment world starts turning on someone, it usually happens quietly at first, but this might be the beginning.
To me, this shows SNL playing its cards of, yeah, they're clearly, they know Blake Lively is crazy. And given the appearance, she's going to have this same reaction of, wait a second, why are you making fun of me? I thought you had our back, Sarah Live. What's going on?
Some people think Scarlett Johansson might have told Colin to bring up Blake in his joke, but that seems unlikely. Colin is a comedian, and a talented one at that, so he was probably just doing what he does best, getting laughs. But now the real question is, will Blake and Ryan say anything? Most likely they'll stay quiet and ignore it. However, Hollywood never forgets. If there's actual tension behind the scenes, this won't be the last shady moment we see. Was it just a joke, or is there more to the story? Let us know your thoughts.